Hello, everyone. Welcome to back to tuning in with us. So, what I wanted to kind of catch up on today is actually the week of the move. So, long story short, we are in the process of moving to Ireland, and specifically, we're moving to Dublin. Now it is mid-November of 2021, and our original flight was for this past weekend, but our paperwork did not come in time. So we're anticipating that we're going to get that this week. And so really we kind of, in terms of our move, what we did was we had planned as though we were going to move this weekend. And so we did a lot of the kind of the preparation stuff. We did that already. And the only things that we left were things that we knew that we would still need, given that we hadn't had the paperwork by the end of last week. We knew that we would still need these items like a bed, like our car, and so we still have that. What we're at the point is last night I spent the night packing, and we have our 3 suitcases full to the 50-pound limit. And then we have 3 duffel bags that are for each of us to take. And we each have our own duffel bag full of stuff. And the 3 suitcases really are full of like household stuff. So luckily for the apartment that we're moving into in Dublin, it's furnished. And so what I did last night was I put one of the suitcases is full of kitchen items. So those kitchen items include like a lot of stuff that I think might be harder to find. One is full of pots and pans and stuff that, even though they're heavy, I think that it will be worth it because I can still use those same cooking items there, and I don't have to purchase those as soon as we get there. In general, because we in the past have moved so often, which is probably about every year, to be honest, we do a move. We don't really have a ton of stuff. And so I think it's a little bit maybe easier to parse that down to like your favorite, few items that you really like in terms of the kitchen items that you want to keep, in addition to your pots and pan and cookware and all that, is simply because we move all the time. And so we don't have a lot of just extra stuff hanging around. It's easy to sort through. We have another bag that's dedicated to more like bathroom items. And so these items are things like our shampoos and things that are more specific also to us that we don't think that, may not be as readily available. Having those items stored and ready for us, at least to hold us over for the next few months, will be really helpful to us. And so what we've done is we have a lot of soaps, we have a lot of shampoos. I know for me, some of you, again, this is specific as a Black American, but I have some natural hair products that I am taking over with me. Some of them are things I can like things that I use in my routine that are readily available there, like coconut oil, avocado oil. I won't need to pack those because I know those are products that you can get in most places, even in different countries. In most places around the world, you can find some of those simple products, especially when they're edible. So I didn't pack things like that. But things like shampoo, things I do not make on my own and I do not just buy as a single ingredient product, then I've brought those as well. And so that's another suitcase that we have. And then the third suitcase we have is actually like the miscellaneous suitcase. And so that contains more like miscellaneous items that we need to take, whether that be important papers, whether that be, I know we have like our son's portable bed in there. So One thing that's really helpful is he has his own crib that he sleeps in his room, but he also has a travel bed that he's slept in really for his first year. So he's very comfortable with it, and it will hold us over until we get to, you know, Dublin, and we can buy him another crib to go into his room. We sold already some bigger items on Facebook Marketplace. And so that includes like the couch, like office desks, like office chairs, um, even like lamps, you know, things that are kind of more valuable that have resale value. We had an exercise bike, so we sold that as well. Um, so I listed those on Facebook Marketplace and sold them. And I think that's really important to share because it's something that can be really useful too, because you're helping to get rid of stuff slowly. So I started doing that maybe about a month ago. And you're also able to, you know, moving is expensive. So anything you can contribute to the moving costs is really going to be helpful because it helps to offset some of those costs. So if you know, for our exercise bike, you sell it for $100. Okay, that can go towards different moving costs you may have. Like, you know, when we sell our car, we're going to have to get a rental car just to drive us to the airport for that week and drive all of our bags and suitcases and things like that. So, you know, and our couch we sold for, I think, $200. So all these little things, you know, they can add up depending on, you know, how valuable your stuff is. Now, I will say for us that because we move so often and we know that many places we live end up being temporary, we don't tend to buy very expensive stuff. So everything I'm talking about that we end up selling, like, you know, even with couches and with tables and chairs, things like that, we end up trying our best to get stuff that's like, it will serve its purpose, but it's not the fanciest because we know that we're not going to keep it for very long. We just don't end up doing that. And another thing is we now have a toddler, so it's even more so like we don't want really fancy stuff. So it's just something, you know, people can make their own choices in that matter. But I think it is helpful when you're, at least in terms of the emotional attachment to it, because I know that's a factor when you're selling stuff and donating stuff. I think it really helps that factor a little bit more because you don't feel like, wow, like I paid, you know, $1,000 for this couch and now I'm selling it for 200. Like for some people that would be really like hard to swallow, I think. So luckily we don't really do that. In certain places we've been to, we've actually even bought a lot of used stuff, you know, so for many things we have no problem just going ahead and getting them used. So that's another tip too, to help offset some costs. You know, looking for certain items that you might be able to buy used so that you can sanitize them if they're hard surfaces like tables, chairs, desks, or even if they have removable covers. During that very short move that we had, all the furniture that we ended up buying, pretty much, we ended up being able to sell it for the same value. So that was really helpful to us in terms of offsetting our costs. When we do move, what we plan to do, which we'll show you as we're doing the move, but take our stroller and take the car seat. And so those will be all the things that we're taking with us when we move. But I really just wanted to show how it is, you know, from the beginning and also prior to the move, kind of the preparation phase and walking through some of that, because I think it can be helpful too to see how, you know, others might be doing this. Yeah, thanks everybody for listening, and I hope it was helpful, and until next time.